Well, hello, it's Daisy again, your mental health medic. And today I want to just really talk about something that I found that people quite needed to know more about and really enjoy it. And actually, how I fall into the picture. Okay, so many people don't quite understand what the difference is between a counselor, coach, psychologist, psychiatrist. Okay, so let's just say they're different levels. Okay. Um, and the best way for me to explain it is when you have got like a flu, okay, you will go to the pharmacist and you will get some medication. Okay. Now your pharmacist would be your coach. Okay, that is a coach. That person will help you. And if there's more needs to be done, you can then go to see your normal GP, and that will be your counselor. So now you go see the GP. The GP says, okay, we're going to need this and this medication. And once that medication is not working properly, that GP will then refer you to a psychologist. Okay. Now, the psychologist will start with medications and things like that. And that is usually your specialist. Okay. So, your psychologist and your psychiatrist, okay, is specialists. But a psychologist is a specialist, but your psychiatrist has got the doctor's degree as well. So he is a doctor that specialized in psychology. Okay. So that is usually the person that really goes and would then diagnose. If medications hasn't been working, then you go see the specialist. Okay. So that is your psychiatrist. So when you see your psychiatrist, they usually do all the tests and they make sure that all the chemicals in the brains and everything, and they do all the scans and all the extra things. So that is your psychiatrist. Now, a lot of people think that if something is wrong with them, they will just make an appointment at a psychologist. Okay. Now, many times you don't really need to see a psychologist because you don't really need to go and see a specialist immediately. Sometimes you can just go to the pharmacist and get a headache pill. Or maybe you can just go to your normal GP, which would be your counselor, and get antibiotics. Okay, so many times you can start at the beginning. You can start at the lower levels and then work your way up. That is also the more, how can I say, that's the more advisable route for you to sort out your mental health, because I have realized that there's quite a big stigma, and myself included. I'm not a big fan of psychologists, but that is due to my childhood and things that I remember, and psychologists, and that whole feeling of being judged. You're sitting on a chair and you feel judged. Okay. Now, many people will go see a psychologist, and many times they would walk out and they did not get the diagnosis or whatever that they don't want, or that they got, but they really don't want that type of diagnosis. Like you've been diagnosed with something and you really feel that it wasn't the correct diagnosis. Now, I'm not saying that it is true that the diagnosis was right or wrong. Sometimes we do need to understand that our internal feeling, we sometimes need to go with what you feel inside of you, your intuition, that little Holy Spirit nudge that's telling you, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is what's wrong with me. Sometimes we need to listen to that and we need to act on that. Okay. So I want to really invite you, if you you have ever felt that you don't want to go back to see a counselor or psychologist because you were not happy with the way that you felt when you left the room, because you feel that you weren't completely heard, you weren't completely really seen for who you are. Not everything was put out on the table and not all the cards were taken into account. If you ever feel that way, I would love to talk to you because I see myself not as the pharmacist nor the doctor. Okay. I see myself as the first responder. Now that's your ambulance, your paramedic comes and they will decide and tell you, listen, you don't have to go to the hospital. You can go to the doctor and you can get this. Or, you know what, everything seems fine. You really don't need to go and see anybody. Now, some of you will know that you have seen paramedics being called out to a house and the person would feel that everything is wrong and they're busy dying. Meanwhile, nothing else in their body, none of the statistics, nothing is telling the paramedics that there's a life-threatening issue. Then they would do what they call a RHT, refuse hospital transport, meaning that the ambulance will then not transport you to hospital. You refuse being transported, and you can then go and relax because you know your blood pressure is fine, your sugar is fine, everything is fine. Sometimes you just need that in between. Now, what exactly really puts me in the position to say that I'm that type of person? Okay, so I'm a master life coach. That is your pharmacist. I've got a degree in psychology, so I am a counselor as well. I'm registered as a counselor. But then I have years of experience of being a paramedic, which is the in-between. And that is why I love to call myself the mental health medic. Because I want to be that in-between person for you. I don't want you to feel that you're coming to see a counselor. I don't want to feel that I'm going to see a psychologist. I want you to feel that you're going somewhere to get an opinion. You're getting somewhere to a place where we can check your blood pressure, check all the things. We put all the cards out on the table. And we really just have a look at everything. And we take into account what's going on, what your past is, and what your future looks like. Because sometimes when we just have somebody that really just looks at it all and tells you, we can work with this. We can do this and this. Or I will tell you, listen, I do believe there is something that we might need to address. You might need to go and see your doctor and just get a normal sleeping tablet. Or maybe just go see your doctor and ask your doctor for a light antidepressant. You will go to the doctor and get that while we then work together. Because sometimes there is a need to use medication while we're doing the other things in order for us to really get to over that mountain. Sorry, dog's barking. Okay. Sometimes we really just need that extra help to get over the mountain. Okay, so that's where my experience in all the years of working on the road as a paramedic comes in, where I can actually tell you, listen, I do believe we're at a dangerous point here. It's really important that you go see a psychologist, or I will even tell you when it's needed to see a psychiatrist. And then I will tell you whether we can or cannot work together, whether I can or cannot treat you like a paramedic would say. So I'm your in-betweener. I'm that in-between person between your pharmacist and your doctor. And we look at all the things. We put it all on the table. And we look at you as a person. Because sometimes it's just nice to also have somebody that really looks at everything and tell you, this is really not that bad. I'm the type of person, and yes, some people might say that I'm way too optimistic. But I love to see your future. I love to see you in your best self. And that's all that my heart desires, is for more moms to feel that them becoming wealthy in their mind, being rich in happiness, rich in love, rich in being able to wear all the hats, making sure that everything is done the way it should, feeling like you just get everything done. And not having to feel that there's something keeping you back or depressing you or creating anxiety for you because you have created life in a way that you can just live it and you can be your best self for your children and be there for your spouse. That is what I would love to help you create. And I don't do it for you. I lovingly support you in doing it because there comes a time when I can tell you, it's time. You need to jump the nest. I'm not going to be there to support you anymore. We're at the point where you can just fly. You can become the eagle and just be free. That is the point that I want to get you at. Not for myself, for you, because I know in me helping you get there, you are going to help your kids have a different future. So I'm not just supporting you, I'm actually supporting all of your family members just by helping you. And even if that's the only reason why you can say, Days, I need you to help me, then that's fine. Because sometimes we can't say no or say yes to ourselves. Sometimes I can't feel like going for a nail appointment because I feel that I might be taking away from my family. I might be taking away from my children or whatever. I know the mom guilt is real. And I want you to feel that when we work together, every step, every tear, every breakdown will have a result that will influence your family. It will build up your children. It will create a future for them. It will break chains that's been in the families for how long? And you can feel that you created that. You made the change happen. And even though when you did it the first time and you said yes the first time, it was more for making sure that your depression and your mental health is not negatively affecting your family. But then realizing that that was so worth it. Knowing that you can see how your mental health no longer has any effect on your children because your mental health has become your wealth. And it is so possible. It is truly and utterly possible. We take it slow, we take it fast, we take it at whatever speed you are at. Because we all know, especially with depression, you can have good weeks for weeks. And then all of a sudden, you wake up in the morning and it feels like a train went over you. And you can't explain it. You don't know what to do with yourself. Those are the moments where you then have me in your back pocket to say, Days, I can't do this today. Those are the days that we work on the things and we implement things to help you, that when you go through that, when I'm no longer there to support you, when I am no longer needed by you, that those days when you feel like you wake up and you feel, I feel a little icky today, but that's okay. I can get up and I can face this day. And then actually throughout the day, pick yourself up even more and get to the night and say, wow, my depression didn't at all dictate how my day went. I had the power. I was able to change it all. I was able to, even though I felt so crappy inside, I was able to fully be there for my children. I was able to be fully there for whatever people needed me at that moment and any time of the day. Those are the times when you realize the hard work you had been doing for months has paid off. So that's where we get you. So if you feel that you need to talk to me, please reach out. And I also have a support group that might really help you. And it's called Majestic Mental Wealth for Women, because women's mental health is very close to my heart. And I do feel that there is nothing that can stop you from being or creating whatever future you want. So please like and subscribe as well. And if you have anything that you would like me to talk about or create pictures about and help you understand mental health and mental things more, please comment below or send me a message, send me an email. I would love to talk to you. So that is me, Des. May you have a lovely and blessed day. Bye now.